We will continue the literature that we started yesterday. Okay, Tuesdays with Morrie.
Miss, do you know until now what are the lessons or materials for the final? Because they said the mark will be from 10. So, well,
The mark will be from 10, but they want the questions, a lot of questions. They want many questions. They want like 20 grammar, 20 vocab, 20. They,
60 questions?
yes.
Miss, this time we will have literature, grammar, and vocab, all of them together.
I am not decided yet.
Miss, I just came in. What are you talking about?
They were talking about the questions in the test and or the material, and I'm telling them it's not decided yet. Okay, you have your book, literature book?
Yes.
Where did we stop yesterday? We finished making connection, and
Yes. We didn't start the first read yet.
Yes, we will start it now. Tuesdays with Morrie, page 154. Do you see my PowerPoint?
No.
It is the PowerPoint.
Miss, again, I'm sorry, what page?
154. I have to go leave and then come again, girls. Join again because it is not sharing.
Yeah, Miss, take your time.
Now can you see?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can.
Okay. Yesterday we said that we have the author album, Mitch album. Mitch was a columnist. It means he used to write columns in a sports magazine, articles. He used to sing in musician bands, and finally he knew or he heard that his professor in sociology college, the college that he has joined before, is dying. He is dying, so he wanted to help him. He went to visit him, and then a visit after a visit, till it became a programmed visit every Tuesday. He goes and visit him. They used to talk about life, about death, as we saw yesterday. Okay, so we start reading from the book 154.
We only read the. No, I don't
Read the
think.
excerpt.
Should we?
Yes, now we will start reading.
Yes, yes. I thought you were asking if we start.
Okay. Jumana? Jumana?
Yes, Miss.
Read Jumana 154 from the very beginning.
First read.
Yes.
Understanding the impact of details. Tuesdays with Morrie is the memoir written by Mitch Albom, a newspaper sport columnist, reports on his weekly visits with his old sociology professor, Morrie Schwartz, who is 78 years old and dying. Though the two men haven't seen each other in 16 years, they have a special bond. As an elder with years of wisdom and insight, Morrie inspires Album, and Album provides company with Morrie. Objective: as you read this excerpt, notice how the two main characters are described using two different colors. Underline details that describe Morrie in one color and details that describe Mitch in another color.
So this is what we're going to do through the first read, girls. We will underline the description or descriptive details for Morrie and for Mitch.
Then in my thoughts column, write a word that describes the general feeling of the underlined detail, positive or negative.
Okay. Thank you, Jumana. Kadra? Tuesdays with Morrie by Mitch Albom, The Classroom.
The classroom. The sun beamed in through the dining room window, lightening up the hardwood floor. We had been talking there for nearly 2 hours. The phone rang yet again, and Morley asked his helper, Connie, to get it. She had been jotting the callers' names in Morley's small black appointment books. Friends, meditation teachers, a
Discussion
discussion
group.
group. Someone who wanted to photograph him for a magazine. It was clear I was not the only one interested in visiting my old professor, the lifeline. Appearance had made him something of a celebrity, but I was impressed with, perhaps even a bit envious of, all the friends that Morrie seemed to have. I thought about the bodies that circled my orbit back in college. Where had they gone?
Okay. Here, girls, thank you, Kadra. Here we read the first paragraph. Do you see any? I want to skim it again. You skim it again. Look at it again. Do you see any details describe Morrie and details that describe Mitch?
Can I say, Miss?
Okay, Sarah, you'll say one, and Layan will say. Layan, you said, can I say or Sarah?
Miss, I want to ask you something.
Yes.
Miss, should the description be directly mentioned?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so Layan, you say one, and Sarah says one. Huh? Did you find anything, Layan?
I think that Morrie has a lot of friends.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. So this is what describe Morrie. So you underline all the friends that Morrie seemed to have. So this is positive or negative?
Positive.
Positive. It's great that the person has lots of friends. And what about Mitch?
When he said where had they gone, that he's wondering about his friends.
Yes, about bodies that circled my orbit back in college. Where had they gone? And yes, girls, seriously, it happens, especially when you are surrounded with too many people and they are during college or school or something. And then after you finish it, suddenly you find no one with you. Okay, so this is positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative. Okay, in the second paragraph, Ragad and Rima will tell me. Ragad will tell me one about Moore, and Rima will tell me about Mitch. Okay. Natalie, read you, Natalie.
Yes, miss. From the next page.
Yes, 155.
You know, Mitch, now that I'm dying, I've been much more interesting to people. You were always interesting. Homer smiled, you're kind. No, I'm not, I thought.
Listen, Natalie, you will be Morrie and Malak Wasim will be Mitch.
Okay.
Okay, so we read from the beginning. Okay, you are Morrie, you're the old one, and Malak Wasim is Mitch. Yalla, Malak, you start, or Morrie here? Morrie starts. Natalie? Well, first of all, Malak, are you here?
Yes, miss, I'm here.
Okay, yalla, Natalie and Malak.
Okay. You know, Mitch, now that I'm dying, I've become more interesting to people.
Malak?
So I just say, oh, you're kind?
Yes,
you
you
were
were
always
always
interesting.
interested. Malak, you say Malak.
Yes, miss.
It's from
You
his
were
point of view.
always interesting.
So,
Yes, from, you know, Mitch.
No, Malak, are you with us?
Yes, page 155.
Natalie will be Morrie and you are Mitch. So Natalie read the first two lines, you read the third line.
You were always interesting?
Yes.
You were always interesting.
Homer smiled, you're kind.
No, I'm not. I thought.
Here's the thing. People see me as a bridge. I'm not alive, I'm used to be. I'm not yet dead. I'm sort of in between. He coughed and regained his smile. I'm not the last great journey here, and people want me to tell them what to pack. The phone rang again. Morrie, can you? I think that's.
Connie, we have Connie. I'll be Connie. Morrie, can you talk?
I'm visiting with my old pal now. Let them call back.
He announced. Yeah.
He announced. I cannot
Oh,
tell you.
here who is talking here? It will not be Morrie, it will be not Mitch.
He announced, let them call back.
I cannot tell you why.
I
Malak, I
can
think.
I,
Mitch, Malak, Wasim.
I cannot tell you why he received me so warmly. I was hardly the promising student who had left him 16 years earlier. Had it not been for Nightline, Morrie might have died without ever seeing me again. I had no good excuse for this, except the one that everyone these days seems to have. I had become too wrapped up in the silent song of my own life. I was busy.
Yes, thank you, girls. So, Ragad and Rima, did you find anything describes Mitch or describes Morrie?
That Morrie is very humble.
Mm?
Like Mitch tried to tell him that he's a very interesting person, and it's not just because he's dying that people are now caring for him.
Uh-huh.
But
So we highlight this. This is, I have become much more interesting to people, right? This
yes,
is, so this is underline it. This is positive or negative, Yarima?
um, I don't.
When you became more interesting to people.
Yes, but he's not saying it in a positive way. He's saying that he's becoming more interesting because he's dying. He's trying to humble himself.
Mm. But it's
So
kind of positive, yeah. People just are caring about him. We
Yeah,
can say
sure.
that. Okay. Uh, Ragad, did you find anything?
Um, yes, there's the line, here's the thing he said, people see me as a bridge, I'm not alive as I used to be. We can see that he's kind of depressed.
I'm on the last great journey here, and people want me to tell them what to pack.
No, line 19 miss.
19, here is the thing. People see me as a bridge. I am not as alive as I used to be, but I'm not yet dead. I'm sort of in between. You felt that he is depressed here? Huh? It is okay. Yes, it is. It is
Yes, I think.
okay. Okay. Um, then, did you find any other thing, girls? Lujain, did you find any other thing?
Maybe miss when Mari said to Mitch that you're kind. It's
Yes.
showing that he's a kind person.
When he said what your kind were, when he said he received me so warmly, or when he said, where is your kind?
And line 17. Oh, Mari
Yeah.
smiled, you're kind.
Ah, your kind. Yes, so underline your kind. It is positive. And on line 28, huh? When he said he received me so warmly, right? ده وائل. ده وائل. Is it here? Is she here? Okay, Lana.
Yes, miss.
Yes, Lana, when he said he received me so warmly, it is a positive feeling or negative?
Positive.
Positive. Okay, and again when on line 33, when he said I had become too wrapped up in the siren song of my own life, I was busy. When you are busy, it means like when you like he says as if he was in a turning like this. He didn't have any time for anything. Albums talking about himself. So this is negative or positive, girls? Lana, this is positive or not?
Negative.
Negative, yes, yes. Okay, Jude, are you here?
Yes,
Read ye Jude from What Happened to Me.
what happened to me? I asked myself. Moi's high smoky voice took me back to my university years, when I thought rich people were well. A shirt and a tie were prison clothes
Were
and
prison,
life
yes.
without
A shirt
prison
and tie were prison, Claude.
and life without freedom to get up and go motorcycle beneath you, breeze in your face down the streets of Paris, in the mountains of Tibet was not a good life. What happened to me? The 80s happened, the 19s happened, death and sickness and getting fat and going bald happened. I traded a lot of dreams for a bigger paycheck, and I never even realized what I was doing it. Yes,
Yes. What does he want to say here, girls? He says to him, and he talks to himself, what happened to me? Morrie's high smoky voice remind me when I was at college, and I had dreams and I thought of freedom and I thought rich people, those who have money are evil. I thought of the tie and shirt that you wear a tie is like a prison club. Where is that person? What happened to me? I thought that walking in the streets of Paris and traveling to the mountain of Tibet was not a good idea, life at all. What happened to me? And then he replies, the 80s happened, the 80th happened, the 19th happened. What is 18th and 19th? Like when we say now the 20th happened, 20,000 happened. What does it mean? It means
The
years. After he
1980s.
had graduated, yes, after he had graduated from college, he was faced by work pressure. Okay, the 18th happened, the 19th happened. Death and sickness are getting fat and going bald happened. Going bald. He tried to be bald. He tried to be fat. He started to be fat. I'm sorry. Started to be bald. Started to feel sick after college, like after the age of 25, 26. When you reach 30, 40. Thank you, Judy. Zina. Zina. بلقيس. درة.
Yes, miss.
Read يا درة from yet.
Yet here was Morrie talking with the wonder of our college years, as if I'd simply been on a long vacation. Have you found someone to share your heart with? He asked. Are you giving to your community? Are you at peace with yourself? Are you trying to be as human as you can be?
The three questions, these three questions are very important. Remember yesterday when we watched in the show that we saw that when a woman was asking him and then I have a shelter, I have in Tahiti for children, for orphans in Tahiti, and then the woman asked him why he said to her that Morrie was the reason, because he asked me, what are you doing to the community? And I said to him, I pay check. And he writes check to the orphans, or he writes check. And he said, no, you have to participate in this charity by yourself. You have to give your community, and giving is living. Remember yesterday? So he said to him, giving is living. Okay, as much as you give, as much as you live. So Morrie was the one who asked him, what are you doing to the community? Okay, and number two, are you at peace with yourself? Are you satisfied with yourself? Are you satisfied with your progress? And then, are you trying to be as human as you can be? And being a human is a very broad topic. Yani, how can a person be a human, girls? Layan Fadl. How can a person be a human?
It depends, really.
How? How can, if I ask you, are you a human?
Me? I feel like people base humanity with compassion, when in fact it could be like anything. Humanity is more than just being a compassionate person.
Yes.
You can be a human by respecting the circumstances. You can be a human by helping. These all come as forms of compassion. Like, we can't deny that. But it's based on like how much sympathy you have for people, I think, in our society.
Yeah.
So if we take it in like a different way, I think that like, and everyone is a human. Like you were born to be humans. It all depends on how what we're faced by in our that's what affects us. But in fact, we're all humans at the end.
Yes. Thank you, Layan. Continue, Dora.
You're welcome.
I squirmed, wanting to show I had been grappling deeply with such questions. What happened to me? I once promised myself I would never work for money, that I would join the Peace Corps, that I would live in beautiful, inspirational places.
So this is the point. He had promised himself that he will not run after money or he will not chase money. But what happened to him after these years of college, 16 years of college after he finished college? What happened to him? Why he chases money that much? He has promised himself to live peaceably. He had promised himself to live in an inspirational way. But he is not doing it anymore. Instead,
Instead, I had been in Detroit for 10 years now, at the same workplace, using the same bank, visiting the same barber. I was 37, more efficient than in college, tied to computers and modems and cell phones. I wrote articles about rich athletes who, for the most part, could not care less about people like me. I was no longer young for my peer group, nor nor I did nor did I walk around in gray sweatshirts uh, with with un, with
unlit
unlit
cigarette.
cigarettes in my mouth. I did not
Thank you,
have
Dora.
long.
Thank you.
Oh, okay. You're
Okay,
welcome.
thank you. Jana?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, continue reading, Jana. I did not have line 64.
Okay. I did not have long discussion over egg salad sandwiches about the meaning of life. My days were full, yet I remained much of the time unsatisfied. What
Yes, so,
happened?
yes, girls, I want you to read it silently from line 50 to line 66 again. So, Najwa, what's happening here, ya Najwa? Najwa?
Yes.
Yes, dear, what's happening?
He's describing his days he has spent.
Yes, his days were described in a positive way or negative way.
No, he
Mess.
father.
Yes,
Can I go to the bathroom?
yes, go. Yes, Najwa?
Um, in a positive way.
Okay. Noor Bilal?
In a negative way when he said unsatisfied.
Yes, yes. What else made you feel that he is not satisfied with his life now?
Because of the things he used to do, he's not doing them anymore.
Yes, he promised himself he will not do these things, and then he finds himself that he is not doing anything but these things, right? Like what, ya Noor?
What
Like
mess?
what? Like what? Yani, what are examples of his life? He said that things he do, and he has promised himself he will not do, but does these things now. What are those things?
He's still in the same workplace
Yes,
and he visits the same barber.
yes, with the same bank in the same country. So underline it, please. I had been in Detroit for 10 years now, at the same workplace, using the same bank, visiting the same barber. tied to computers and modern cell phones. Modems and cell phones. Modems like the routers. What else, girls? I no longer wander in a gray sweatshirt with the unlit cigarette in my mouth. It is an act of teenagers.
Miss,
Yes.
Miss, how does this describe his feelings?
No, it's not here describes feeling. I'm underlining it, but it's not negative or positive.
Okay.
I'm just telling, yani we are underlying the life of album now. So please underline. Also, I did not have long discussions over egg salad sandwich about the meaning of life. My days were full, yet I remained much of the time unsatisfied. So as Noor said, he is unsatisfied with his life. And this is the answer of question 2. Are you at peace with yourself? He says, I'm not. I'm unsatisfied with my life. Okay. Noor Yusuf. Noor is not here. Noor is here.
Yes.
Noor Yusuf. Yes, Noor, read 157 at the beginning.
Yes. What happened to me, coach? I said suddenly, remembering the nickname. Morrie beamed. That's me. I'm still your coach. He laughed and resumed his
Noor, you will be Morrie. You will be Mitch. You will be Mitch. Okay. Sarah will be Morrie. Okay. And I'll connect, or who connects? Najwa, are you awake?
Yes, Miss.
Najwa will connect. So be awake, the three of you. Okay,
Miss,
you are
the first question.
Who has a question?
No, I'm telling you, I'm sorry for.
No, it is okay. No. Just want you to be awake. We all make mistakes. Start with Noor album. What happened to me?
What happened to me? Coach, I said suddenly.
I said suddenly. We'll read it, Najwa.
Miss, I'm Morrie or I'm not?
You're Morrie, Sarah.
Okay, so I should. Okay.
Miss, I'll repeat again. What happened to me, coach?
I said, remembering the nickname.
Morrie beamed.
Morrie beamed. That's me.
Morrie.
That's me. I'm still your coach.
He laughed and resumed his eating, a meal he had started 40 minutes earlier. I watched him now, his hands working gingerly as if he was learning to use them for the first time. He could not press down hard with a knife. His fingers were shook. Each bite was a struggle. He chewed the food finely before swallowing, and sometimes it slid out the slides of his lips, so that he had to put down what he was holding to dab his face with a napkin. The skin from the wrist to his ankles were dotted with age spots, and it was loose like skin hanging from a chicken soup bone.
For a while?
Okay. For a while, we just ate like that. A sick old man, a healthy younger man, both absorbing the quiet of the room. I would say it was an embarrassed silence, but I seemed to be the only one embarrassed.
Dying.
Morrie suddenly said,
is only one thing to be sad over much. Living unhappily is something else. So many of the people who come to visit me are unhappy.
Why?
Well, for one thing, the culture we have does not make people feel good about themselves. We're teaching the wrong things, and you have to be strong enough to say if the culture does not work, do not buy it, create your own. Most people cannot do it. They are more unhappy than me, even in my current condition. I may be dying, but should I complete?
Yes.
Yeah, I may be dying, but I'm surrounded by loving, caring souls. How many people can I say that?
Okay. So what happened to me was Mitch wondering, and then he said to him, Coach, and Morrie answered anyway. And then this was the description of Morrie eating lunch. First of all, he said that the meal he has started 40 minutes ago. It means he has been eating for like almost an hour now. Can you take a meal in an hour?
No.
What is
Yes,
the reason?
no. Like it's
Yeah,
because he's too old.
yes, he's too old. He is too old. And did he describe the scene of he holds the spoon and he tries to open his mouth and girls, tell me this part. What did you feel in this part? He could not press hard with a knife. Underline that because this is a descriptive of Morrie, girls. He could not press hard on a knife with a knife. His fingers shook. Each bite, each bite was a struggle. He chewed the food finely, it means quietly and very well, before swallowing. And sometimes it slid, it falls here, slid out the sides of his lips. So he brings a napkin and he uh, wipe his face. Okay. The skin from his wrist to his knuckles were dotted with age spots. Here, when someone ages, there are brown spots appear in his body. Brown spots, like, so these are called aging spots. They appear because people are aging. And the skin is loose. Look, like the jacket here. The skin is like this, not like this, not firm like this. No, like this, loose. The skin starts to be loose, like a chicken in a soup. Okay, so he describes how old is Morrie. This is negative or positive? Negative.
Negative.
Yes,
Negative.
negative, yes. And then he said, we were talking, and then suddenly Morrie said, dying. Okay, is only one thing to be sad over, Mitch. Living unhappily. So the truth that we are all going to die. We are all dying. This is truth. So we cannot be sad about it. We cannot be sad that we're dying because this is it has to happen. We all eventually die. But what is sad that you do not live happy. You do not live happily. You do not live properly. So he says that most of the people who come to me here are sad because they do not live their lives happily. Okay? They are unhappy. Why? For one thing, he says that the culture that we have doesn't make people feel good about themselves. We are teaching the wrong things, and you have to be strong enough to say if the culture doesn't work, don't buy it, create your own. Most people do it. They are more unhappy than me, even in my current condition. Even now, even though now I am old, I am dying, but people who come to me here are more unhappy than me. Why? Because they live their lives unhappily. They live it wrong, in a wrong way. Girls, is it related by any way to our condition, to our lives?
Yes.
I will leave you with this question for 5 minutes break and we meet in the second period. Don't be late. Wash your faces, okay? Drink water.
Okay.
Okay.
Miss Nada?
Yes, dear.